The central nervous system refers to the nerves in the brain and in the spinal cord. So this is a great picture here on the slide. The nerves in the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system refers to all the rest of them, all the other nerve cells in your body, like those in your joints, muscles, skin surface, etc. The peripheral nervous system is further broken down into two systems. The somatic nervous system refers to the nerves that go to and from voluntary muscles and sensory receptors. The autonomic nervous system are those that go to and from the autonomic or involuntary functions of the body, like those responsible for breathing, heart rate, sweating, etc. So autonomic, think automatic. The autonomic nervous system is even further broken down into two final systems. The sympathetic nervous system arouses the body to prepare for a fight or flight response when faced with a perceived threat. Its activity includes increased heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, perspiration, etc., but decreased digestion. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system conserves resources when no threat is perceived. Its activity includes decreased heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, perspiration, etc., but increased digestion. We're going to focus on the autonomic nervous system in sleep, so it is important to remember that when its sympathetic nervous system takes over, the body is aroused, and when its parasympathetic nervous system takes over, it is pretty relaxed. So say you are in a classroom and a man appears in front who is clearly armed. Which system takes over? That would be the sympathetic nervous system. Now, say he shows a badge and identifies himself as a police detective here to talk to the class about campus safety. Now, which system takes over? And that would be the parasympathetic system. So generally, only one takes over at a time. In other words, when one is high, the other is low. But this changes during one particularly crazy component of REM sleep. There are two components of REMS, the tonic component and the phasic component. The tonic component is what remains constant through REMS, like the sawtooth brain waves that are metabolically more active than waking, and the muscle paralysis. These remain relatively constant through REMS. And also the EEG, the readings on the polysomnograph, are relatively stable during tonic REMS. But this is not true of the EOG and other body functions that differ significantly in phasic REMS. The phasic component of REM sleep consists of bursts of events, such as clusters of rapid eye movements and a number of changes in the body. Note one of the paradoxical parts of REM sleep on this chart, and remember that REM sleep is sometimes called paradoxical sleep. The sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems are both relatively aroused at the same time. See here? Also note the effects on the pupil dilation in this chart. When REM sleep is between bursts, the sleeper is said to be in tonic REM sleep, the stable one. And when experiencing the bursts, they are said to be in phasic REM sleep. So while awake, your parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic ones take over at different times. If one's high, the other is low. With this chart showing the highest rate that each normally reach on a normal day. So that's the highest, but they be at different times, right? Now, during non-REM sleep, the parasympathetic nervous system is at a high but normal rate, and it's stable. Well, the sympathetic nervous system is relatively low and stable too, just as you'd expect. We move to tonic REMS and notice that the parasympathetic nervous system is the same high normal rate, and the sympathetic nervous system is even lower. But no surprise again. Now you come to phasic REMS. And this is where all our surprises occur. Okay? The parasympathetic nervous system itself is abnormally high. See that compared to normal high that it would reach during the day? And the sympathetic nervous system activity has been described as off the charts and an absolute storm. Well, you can see that the body is highly aroused during phasic REM sleep on this chart. What you can't see, because this is just a mean, is the storm being the dramatic and irregular surges of activation around that mean. In our next segment, we are going to explore the effects of sleep on many body systems. Note that the effects on the cardiovascular system are going to differ between the two different components of REM sleep.